I would like to welcome Maciej, Sony Imaging Ambassador for Europe. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Nice. And so Maciej is our European ambassador for AlbumWorks, our new album design program. We're very happy to have him. But we're really excited to have you. We're really excited to introduce AlbumWorks and the fun sliding drop zones and auto design.
And all the fun like about designing albums.
Yeah, and just show people how you can design an album in how many minutes?
Yeah.
Right? Just a few minutes, right?
Right?
Kind of let everybody know kind of the benefits that AlbumWorks gives them at such a low price point for just $100 a year, less than $10 a month.
Yeah, so AlbumWorks with the price point it has, it is amazing thing to design these babies because albums is something that I think they're like photographers are. You could divide photographers for the ones that are actually selling albums and the ones that just don't do this. And the guys that don't do albums at all, they're usually struggling like, hey, how to design an album, how to make it good, how to make sure it's gonna, it's gonna print well, how to make sure it's gonna have correct sizes for my lab. Like, I don't know what is the red zones and the, all that stuff. So usually it's very confusing when you don't do this. Yeah. But then AlbumWorks comes very in handy, giving you everything in one place with like a few clicks away. You have like finished album actually.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and dive in. Why don't you share your screen, Maciej, and just kind of show the album. He's just finishing up an album for some clients. He's going to show you some kind of how to design some individual pages, how to slide around with the drop zones, and then we'll show you on a different album all the auto design features.
Exactly. So so the one that I'm editing right now, I'm just going to click it now, so you can just see the entire interface of how to design the albums, like the design interface of the software. And so that's the album I'm actually designing for my clients right now. So that's the only one full wedding. Actually not, sorry. That's one of two full weddings that I was supposed to shoot this year, and I did shot it. So this one was in February in Ireland. The couple was actually from Netherlands. There's someone from Netherlands, so they're from Rotterdam. So they flew into Ireland because the bride is Irish and the guy is from the Netherlands. And we managed to do this just before the whole Corona outbreak happened. So I did use that's the funny story. I did design this using the auto design feature. So most of the stuff you see here is auto designed, and then I just make a few tweaks around. But then I decided to add some more photos. So I uploaded new photos, added new spreads, and that's what I'm going to do now, just populate these ones. So I have a finished album.
Nice. Let's do that right now. I don't know if you saw, we added the feature. If you scroll all the way to the top.
Yeah.
If you scroll all the way to the top, you can sort where it says all.
Yeah. Filter the images by the ones that are used and unused. That's new. I saw this yesterday for the first time, I think.
Yeah. So there's all the new photos. So let's drop those in.
Yeah. So the new photos, because there are some that I just didn't use from the ceremony because it was too long. But the ones that I'm missing out here is the party. So here you can see the first dance. I'm going to zoom in actually, so you can see like a full spreads right now. So there was a ceremony, some toasts, and then a cake, the first dance, and now I'm on to the party. So there are some photos from the party. With the party shots, I generally like to have a lot of them, like a bunch of them on one spread, just to give that energy. And also, like, it's usually like a different people on the photo. So I just want to make sure that there's like a lot of various faces and emotions happening here. So there is a groom with his mom right here, and the bride dancing with parents. So I'm just pressing shift on my keyboard just to select more than one photo. So you see when I just click, it just clicks on the image. But when I go with pressing shift, I have more than one image selected once. Boom, boom, different colors. So I think I want this spread to be like also like various different colors, so like blue, yellow, orange. So I'm just gonna pick the ones, beer, party, okay. And then I'm just gonna move these spreads here. And you see, it just gave me like this nice layout for
so let's show them. So let's say what happens if they want to change the layout. Let's show.
Exactly. So there are a few things you can do. First thing you can do, you can just select a different layout. So when you click on one of the images on that spread, here on the left you have 3 panels. One is for photos, the photos that we are using to use this album, layouts, and add photos, which is just adding new photos with layouts. Here I can have a different of like a bunch of pre-designed layouts for this number of images for this type of album. So actually, I like this one because it gives like
it shows the best one.
It shows the best one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it works.
Why don't you show them how to swap some photos?
For example, I can choose the one like this that is this just gives a little more margin to it, or maybe this one.
Yep.
So this one actually works nice. There's like 3 blue images down here and 4 like orangey yellow images. So it works like this. And then my favorite thing, is that your favorite thing as well? Is that?
Oh yeah, that's the best. Just show the people, blow their minds.
So yeah, so when you hover your mouse in between the images, you get this little changing of the cursor, and you can readjust
that's the crazy stuff.
The ratio of the images, which is awesome, and they go. See what happened? So I could just do this all day long.
So yeah, so I have a gold colored plaque, not real gold, but I have a gold plaque in my office with our patent on it. So this is our patented drop zones.
Amazing. Yeah, this feature is just
so let's say the bottom left one. Can you edit that one? What if I want to zoom in and crop that one a little bit?
Yeah. So when you press on each, on any of the images, you have 2 options. You can either delete the image or just edit a crop. When you edit the crop, it shows the exact crop that you're at. So you can just be like, oh yeah, I want to see more of the face of that's the groom actually doing.
And let's crop in a little bit. What if we crop in?
But I can crop in to be like rock and roll, baby. Boom, it's done right away. You don't have to wait for anything here. So yes, I think that spread is actually good. I'm going to go back to the photos. I have 2 more spreads, 3 more spreads, number 45, 50, 51, 52. So the numbers that you can see here are the numbers of the pages, right? So each spread contains 2 pages. Yeah. Sometimes it's confusing for your clients, so make sure you communicate that well. Either you go spreads or pages when you sell albums. So let's go down here and.
We did have one question. We did have one question while you were looking.
Go for it.
So we asked. One person asked why you mix color in black and white, and I think it's kind of a personal thing. So for example, I don't like to mix color in black and white, but here you are mixing color in black and white. Do you want to talk about that just a little bit with your personal choices?
Usually I don't do it that often. But here on this album, there were like some images like this one that I didn't have in color, and I just wanted to have the cake cutting in 2 different colors for fun and 2 different emotions on it.
Can you show people how to? Can you show people how to swap images between?
Yeah.
So you can swap images.
If you want here a colorful image, you can just scroll and find the right image right here with the cake. For example, this one, and you can just when you press and hover over the spread, you have few options. So either you do it outside of the images, and it can add the photo to that spread and just change the layout to fit one photo more. Or you can hover over one of the particular images. In this case, the black and white one, and then it will change the photo like this right here. So it just replace the photo with another one. For my personal choice, I'm gonna go with black and white here.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll show
them how to swap
album
within a spread too. So let's take the black and white and put it in the location of the bigger photo.
Yeah.
On the right
there.
Yeah.
So I can also do the same thing within a spread. So click on the image from a spread and just change with another one on this spread. So it's quite easy to have to do this all adjustments. So what I'm going to show you next in a few seconds is going to be how to auto design album. So that's a really nice feature to just start off with something and then have like a few little tweaks and you're done. But yeah, I'm going to go back. Since this one is for my clients, I'm going to go back to my choice. But I'm going to show you also different album that I did differentiate the spreads with black and white and colorful images because it worked well. So I also have that rule. Here, this rule is broken because of my personal choice.
Yep.
But yeah. Here, I'm just going to go with some more crazy party photos. So I just changed the type of flash. So here I was flashing like a bounce light, and here I'm just going to do direct dragging shutter one. So I don't want to mix these images also on the same spread.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another, put these photos on another spread. So there was some shouting and some stuff, and I think, yeah, maybe this one. Boom, 6 images. Here, I'm going to make a few adjustments just to also stick to some of the rules that I try to stick. Like this one, like this image, they are kind of facing towards the outside of the album. I want them facing to the inside, so I'm going to have them on this side. So they're right now facing the center of the book. These guys, this is good, this is good, this is good. That's a nice colorful spread. Maybe I'm gonna see what different layouts I could go with. Yeah, maybe, oh, this one is nice actually. It's also fun, it's always fun to see like what other options the software is giving you. Like
Yep.
You see something and you're like, hell, I like it. But then you might go and be like, yeah, this one is actually fitting it more because that's the bride, that's the groom. So this is like a bright piece, this is like a groom piece. So yeah, you can make some fun adjustments like this, maybe even bigger in this one.
Yeah, that's fun. Do a little kind of off-center look.
Yeah, exactly. So you can do whatever you want kind of here.
You know, even within Fundy Designer, we basically brought my design philosophy into AlbumWorks, which is automate the base album and then give you unlimited power to change anything you want, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Here it works really well, and it's just fun to do it. One more, and the last one, the last spread. And it goes down here. I would find a bride and groom dancing, maybe. Or finish it. Should I finish strong or slow? What do you think?
Well, so I have. I'm not saying I'm correct, but my philosophy is I view albums the same as I view a movie, for example, right? Yeah. And if you look at traditional cinematography, movies always end on a quiet moment. Right. So if it's Die Hard, they didn't end with the explosion. They ended with, you know, him and his wife talking in the ambulance, or, you know, cowboy riding off into the sunset. So I always like to end the album with like a pullback, quiet bride and groom portrait. Like if you have, like in this case, if you had like a night portrait of them outside, I find that closes the album really well.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that would be nice closure.
But that's just my that's just my personal philosophy. So
yeah, that works. Like I like to close with some quiet moments as well.
Yeah.
this doesn't work actually. I think I'm gonna maybe then.
And that's okay. We can, yeah. So we can hop in, show them the album, the auto design.
Let's do it.
And you can finish that. Ending an album is tough because you got to take that time.
I'm gonna take that time for myself.
Yeah.
So with auto design, I just uploaded new set of images up here.
333 photos. Going completely all in.
Yeah, I'm going all in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna first edit the old settings.
So let's show them the big list of the album companies too.
Yeah. So what you see here is on the left the number of the images that I've uploaded here, and you can just quickly scroll to see like, hey, do I have it all? Is it everything? Then you of course choose a name. I'll go with T&D. Choose the album company here. So this here I'm gonna go with Enphoto, which is a local lab for me.
Yeah, I think there's 150 album companies in there, so
yeah,
a lot of really cool stuff for you.
The number.
And you can just search for it up top if you know.
And you can search here. Yeah. So if you have something with N, so here. This one I'm going to go. Like the previous one, I also used the company based in Poland, the one that I was designing for my clients. It's called Cutie Albums. This time, I'm just going to choose for a purpose of example, a different one, which is also local to me. And here I'm going to choose a photo album in millimeters, because that's how we do it in Europe. 30 by 30, auto design. You can now choose, that's new as well. Before that, you could also only choose auto design yes or no. Now you can choose either by date or name. I go by date and the number of pages. So Andrew, how many?
Yeah, so
333 images.
I would say at least 100 pages.
100?
Yeah.
110? 100, maybe. Yeah. Let's make it a round number.
So this is interesting too, because we work closely, especially with Enphoto, Cutie Albums, Floricolor. A lot of European labs are introducing these new, inexpensive albums that are near photo quality. I'm not sure the printing technology, but near photo quality, but much cheaper. But one of the constraints is that you can't have a photo go over that center fold because of the paper doesn't crease well. So that last drop down lets you exclude any layouts that cross the center line in the auto design. So just a nice little time-saving feature.
Exactly. So this album actually is gonna, I'm gonna go 30 by 30. I think that's the one actually that is here that I can open, and it can go through the middle, through the center. So I'm fine with that. So I'm just gonna do design constraints, none. All designs are good for this album. Save.
Yes.
Confirm. Because I just changed something from what I had before, and now we're just doing all the magic with.
Yeah, let's make the pages smaller and show everybody. Just kind of scroll through the whole album.
So boom. So this is auto design in 7 seconds or something like that.
Let's scroll through the whole album to really show people
photos.
Yeah, so we have a very unique auto design technology that clusters photos together based on the time, the difference in the time that was taken between them, right? So as you're shooting, you're like, click, 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 pause, click, click, click. And so it recognizes those pauses.
Yeah, that is amazing. And that works. Like you can see it now here. Look at this. So here, full spread is out of images of the details of the reception area.
Yeah.
See that? And it's just in one spread. The next two spreads are the family portraits, like all the family photos. And then next 3 spreads, it's the portraits that I did with the couple. And it didn't mix them with anything else. And then it moves again to the reception area. So yeah, it works really well. Yeah. It's almost every time correct with this, because like if it base, oh wait, you lost my vision. What happened?
Oh yeah, you disappeared.
Sorry, I think my camera died. 1 second. I did not charge my batteries, I guess. 1 second, my friends. Or is it just too hot in here? How hot is it in Oregon right now?
Actually, it's going to be 100 over the weekend, so it's going to get really, really hot, which is not normal.
So it's been like this here for a while now, like a 30 degrees Celsius, so around 100. Yeah, you can see me again.
Hello, everyone.
Boom. So yeah, it works really well, and it's almost every time correct here. So you start off with really like good starting point for any tweaks that you want to make, any changing of the images, changing of the layouts, making some shifts around, changing the ratio of the photos. Here I went crazy, so I went like full 300 images just so I can see how it's going to perform, and it performed really well. I do think that here there are like few spreads from the ceremony that there's like too many images. So what I would do if I would be designing that album for my clients, I would probably go zoom in here and remove some of these images, because it's just too many of the photos from the ceremony. Is just like too busy in these spreads. So I'm just gonna show you. You see when I delete, when I just remove images.
And this
changes the layout immediately.
This feature is really powerful. Let's say you hop on a Zoom and you want to review the album live with your clients. That feature is really powerful because the client can say, "Oh, I want to remove that image."
Oh,
and
yeah.
just click delete, and then
just boom. It just changes. Yeah, changes the layout immediately. So like you can see like, oh, there's like two similar images, but in this one you can see like the person, the celebrant, in behind. So I'm just gonna boom, remove. It's done. This one is also not so good. So boom. Maybe I'll just keep it like this. Couple on the left, the guest on the right. That makes sense. Here are just ceremony shots. Oh wait, not this one. I'm just gonna make a different layout for this one. And then I'm gonna have this photo as a main one. Just showing the emotions of the parents and a sister. I'll go down and be like, so that what I would do if I would like be, let's say, because that's the wedding I shot last year. They didn't order an album.
So let's
could be like this year. I could be like, okay, their anniversary is coming. I could just use their photos, make auto design with few tweaks. And make a final flip book, which I'm going to show you in 1 second, and then send it to them and be like, hey, it's your anniversary is coming, and I'm running a sale for albums for couples that are doing anniversaries, for example.
So a couple things. When you do the free trial with AlbumWorks, you can upload up to 1,500 photos during the 2-week trial. So you can design, 10 albums pretty easily. And during the trial, you can share the flipbook that we're going to show you. So you could go into the trial, upload a couple albums, share those with your clients. They pay for the album. So you can make money on the free trial before you have to pay. And then you can make money from the client, and then you pay for the AlbumWorks and download the print files and send them off. So let's show them the...
Exactly. I have like this tiny album that I designed with the images from a engagement shoot.
So why don't you click the share button and then take that link and paste it into the chat so everybody can kind of click on it and see.
Exactly. So we have share flipbook here. So you have two options: export for print. So for this one you have to be an active subscriber, but the share flipbook will work in a trial mode. So you can click share flipbook. I'm going to copy this now and send it to you guys in the chat. Boom. And also I'm going to show you to everyone just watching restream anywhere else. So it just gives you a visual version of the album. So they're going to see where the exactly middle is, how it's going to go. and I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, and then
like
just from
decisions.
a couple things in your dashboard, you can upload your logo. So up at the top, right above the book, you can add your logo if you would like to that. And then also it works on phones, iPads, computers, whatever. So which is nice. Since so many brides will want to look at it on her phone, and
just quickly,
she can send the link to her mom and dad and all of that stuff.
Yeah. And they all can buy the albums later on.
Yeah. I love that shot on the left. Where is that?
That's in New York.
Okay. I thought that looked like New York.
Yeah, it's on a high line. There's this window. Yeah, that's the panorama.
Nice.
And there are like a few final images here.
Yep. And the images loading are probably quite a bit slower than your clients would experience because Magic is streaming on Zoom, and so bandwidth is being taken up.
Yeah, right? But when they load, they're ready.
Yeah.
So after the first flip, when they have to load, they're already loaded, and you can just quickly flip it left and right to see does it look good. Like here, when I flip it right now for myself, I also see something like, the image on the left is cropped, not the way I don't want it to be cropped.
Yeah.
So I can like quickly go back to the album, edit the album, go down to that spread and be like, that crop, I don't like it.
So
edit the crop and be like, down here.
Yeah. So that's really key, is that once you edit anything, the flipbook is live. So once you edit this, the next time the client looks at the flipbook or you refresh it, you'll see that new crop. So you don't have to worry about different revisions or anything. Everything's always live.
So they see. So you could actually, you could probably be streaming with them as well and talking and designing and showing them. Yeah. Oh, do you like it like that more or like that?
Exactly.
So it works well. So that's it. I really like this tiny album from this engagement shoot.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's like a nice sunny day. And then I'll have maybe one more.
Oh, let's show. I want to show one more feature. Can you show? Can you make the spread smaller?
In the view.
Yeah, doesn't matter which album. So I want to show people that you can move the spreads around. Can you grab one of the spreads?
Yeah. So I'm going to change the album for that. So it makes sense. So it makes sense. So for example, here I have the album from the actual wedding from last year as well. And here I might make some decisions like you can see here, we have a spread of a groom getting ready here. And then a spread of bride getting ready, and then the first look maybe. So maybe I wanted this one to be first, so I can just drag and drop it here, and it just gets there.
Yeah.
Is that easy?
Exactly. Or you can just delete a spread. You'll have, I won't make you delete the spread, but you can hover over and delete a spread, and then
gives the option of delete. If you want to add spread, you go in between images, and there's this plus.
Actually, why don't you hit that plus so you can show people how to add a spread, and then you can just delete it real quick, right? So super easy. Just add a spread, delete it.
Boom. It asks me, so it's very there's like a double safety here. Boom. It's gone.
This is so much fun because it's I'm part of the designing and the building of something, but I don't get to see a photographer actually use it. And now I'm seeing you actually use it for real clients, and it's super exciting.
That's like this one also was only auto design. I don't think I made any tweaks and changes here. So it was like boom, few seconds ready. And now looking here, I can see how well it worked with the. You see there's a spread with party, and it's just a party, and there's no mix of images here. So you can easily have what you want, and it finishes like you want it. You see the slow
exactly.
Images.
That's the
evening.
The quiet mode, the riding off into the sunset, right?
Yeah.
So when I was shooting, I would always be sure to grab the couple during the ceremony, or during the reception and pull them away and do some portraits so that it kind of fit with
we have that evening moment.
The end, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like kind of shooting for the album, right?
Yeah.
So you can have a great album later on. So like now when I see it, of course, I would make some tweaks around. But it's so nice to have a good starting point, that you don't need to just drag all the images into like first one, second one, third one.
Yeah.
It just goes boom, few seconds, and you just start and tweak. And I think it just makes it like way faster that you could do. Especially if you're not designing albums, or if you are using like this, this designers with the album companies that they have, that they're nice, but they don't give you that speed and flexibility over the changes you can make here.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. So any last questions?
Yeah. Do we have any questions? How long is the trial good for, Andrew?
Oh yeah. So this is super key. So let's go ahead. Why don't you pull up the AlbumWorks website? So albumworks.co for everybody, albumworks.co to start your trial. So let's go to the pricing. So key, when you start your trial, you don't need a credit card. You don't need anything. You just log in and go. And you log in with Facebook or Google, so you don't have to create a password to remember. So the trial is 14 days, up to 1,500 photos. And you can just upload design. You can share the flipbook with your client. You cannot download the print files, so you can share the flipbook. But the great thing is you can show your clients the album, get it approved, and you can charge them for the album and get the money. And so you can basically use that first album payment to buy your first year. So it's basically less than $10 a year, $100 a year for 3,500 photos, about 50 albums. And the key thing is once your client has approved that album and you send that album off for printing, you can delete that album and that frees up that space.
Yeah.
Right. So, if you do 30 albums a year, you can basically go forever on that tier one. But if you
can see that on the album list.
Yeah.
When you go to the album list here on the left, on the top, you'll see how many images you have used. So if you're getting close to here, you can go to the old albums and just go delete because you already sold them, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's go to that. So 150 a year for basically up to 100. 275 a year includes unlimited everything. I doubt many people will get there, but even the $200 a year.
That's I'm guessing like the big studios that are doing like multiple weddings per weekend.
Possibly, yeah.
And then during a week, you're designing like 10, 15 albums. That's the only scenario that I would think you are running out of space before your client approves the album.
Exactly. And then you can scroll down. You can compare AlbumWorks to Fundy Designer or something like Smart Albums for your cost and what you can do. I did have a questions from one person who was asking about spacing between images and kind of some really more advanced features, and they might be happier designing albums in Fundy Designer, right? So we want to add this as not as a copy of Fundy Designer, but as a very simple, automated, streamlined tool at a very low price point to allow people to get up and running and offering albums literally in minutes in their studio if they've never designed an album before, or if you're looking for something that's just simpler to use. Maybe you're looking at something that's cheaper to use because of how difficult the financial situation is with the pandemic.
Yep. I do stand that this one is like will give you everything you need to actually design and sell albums.
Yep.
Is the trial 14-day trial.
So somebody asked about backgrounds and artwork. So that is a key where, someone that wanted to do a lot of backgrounds, add PNGs, et cetera, would really want to look at Fundy Designer because that's more of that advanced design tool. If you're looking for basically InDesign for photographers, that's where Fundy Designer comes in. You can design studio magazine, cards, all sorts of stuff. This is your streamlined album only.
Yeah, album, like especially like I think we're in States, it's very popular to sell all this wall decor and all that stuff that you have right now over your desk behind you, which like the Fundy Designer that I did use before as well. But for me, Fundy Designer was kind of like I didn't need all the features.
Yeah,
it's like all these features that I don't use, all these fun stuff. Like I remember maybe a few times I used the collage feature to make some collages to some stuff. But actually what I needed the software for was just in albums, and making it like quickly. So this one.
Yeah, so we want to make it a really easy decision for you, right? If you are designing and selling albums and artwork and designing cards and studio magazines, Fundy Designer is really the tool for you. But if you just want to design and share those album designs with your clients, super easy and cheap, then AlbumWorks is the best tool for you.
Also, that we didn't mention, this is a cloud software.
Correct, yeah. So that's very different. So Fundy Designer is a desktop software. AlbumWorks is a cloud software. So once you design the album, you can go log in on any web browser, on Chrome on your iPad if you wanted to sit down with your clients. You have a work computer, go home, just log into AlbumWorks on your home computer and everything's there. So everything's cloud-based, permanently online. You don't have to worry about where you're saving stuff. So that's a really key difference. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah. I was like, we went so quickly into, the fun stuff, designing.
Yeah.
So you have to log in. And I did use a different computer as well at one time when designing in AlbumWorks. I have like a second computer here. So I checked how it all works. It does work. Because it's all, it just needs like a browser and internet access.
Yeah, we actually had a support ticket, and somebody said, "Well, how do I get my albums on a different computer?" And we're like, "You just go log in on the browser on the different computer, and they're there."
Yeah.
Right. Fundy Designer, there's actually a file like your Lightroom catalog, and you just move that file over to your computer.
You have to have a file. Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for. Oh wait, we got a couple more questions.
Two more.
So somebody asked, Ben here, it really looks like he's looking more for something in Fundy Designer because he's looking for, more advanced design options, etc. And he asked if Fundy Designer has also 150 book printers. Yes, we actually use the same exact database. Somebody asked if this will be available later. Yep, so we're recording this. Just check the Fundy Designer YouTube channel, but also we're streaming to the Fundy Software Facebook page. So if you go to the Fundy Software Facebook page and click on the videos, this stream will be saved there forever. So Adrian asked if there's a link that doesn't mention AlbumWorks for the client, and that's that flipbook link. So when you send the flipbook link to your clients, you can put your logo. There's no mention of AlbumWorks or anything like that. So they'll be able to get that without any logo or anything.
Very quickly with answering all the questions here, like boom, boom, boom. I didn't even read some of them.
So Tiago's, when finished the album, is it possible to save the JPEG previews for backup purposes? Yes, that's very important. So actually, let's go ahead and export an album. That's one thing we didn't show, right? So when you're done, you need the print files to send to your client. So you simply click export, and right now it's creating those print ready files, right? Nice little pretty rendering of the album for you. So it's going to create those at print ready JPEGs, that's what all of the album companies accept, right? So you send that, order your album, and then Tiago asked about for backup, and then this is perfect. This is what you want to back up, right? Back up those print files. You can just save those with the raw files from the wedding, and then you have that backup.
Yeah, you keep them, like I usually keep them in the one folder with the same wedding, like the album print files.
Exactly.
So make sure that these ones, so even if you delete the album here, you can still have the files to order a second album maybe. Yeah. Yo, thank you for saying that you like the images. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty good. pretty good.
Okay.
All right. So I think that is all of the questions. I can't thank you enough, Maciej, for taking part in this and leading and showing these beautiful albums for your clients. I hope your clients love them.
Friend.
Yeah. And then also, if anybody has any other questions, you can comment on that Facebook Live, and Natalie and our marketing department will answer those for you. Or if you go to the albumworks.co website, under support, there's FAQs for a lot of these questions, and then at the bottom there's the contact for contacting our support team for any further questions.
Perfect. If you have any questions for me, you can just go to my Instagram, Magic Wedding Photographer.
Yes.
Yeah, just feel free to shoot me a message and be like, hey, how did you take this photo? I'll be like, yeah, you just need a Sony camera because I'm Sony Ambassador.
Exactly. Yep. So
I'm joking, but yeah, feel free. I'm always happy to answer any questions about anything album related, software related, or just fun stuff.
Love it, man. Thank you so much. You have a great evening. I know you're getting closer to bedtime over there.
Yes, it's getting, we get that golden hour happening very soon here.
Nice. Well, I will let you go. Can't thank you enough, and we will talk soon.
Thank you so much.
See you,
Ciao.
buddy.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.